Yay!
Well, hey, you guys, welcome to the Kindness of Seduction. My name is Christel Crawford, and I'm a certified facilitator with Access Consciousness. And I'm here today with Kalpana. And Kalpana, I'm going to brutalize your last name. I can't believe I don't know it.
Go for it, brutalize.
Raghuraman.
Brutalize. Raghuraman.
Awesome. Well, Kalpana is a great friend of mine, and we travel around the world and we meet at classes all over. And the coolest thing about what we do is, like, sometimes you don't even need to know each other's names. You're just like, I've known you forever. You're amazing. But Kalpana is actually a world-renowned choreographer and dancer. And she tours and she performs all over the world. She's also an Access Consciousness facilitator and a Right Voice for You facilitator, and somebody that I adore having in my world and in my space. So welcome, Kalpana. I'm so excited to introduce you to the world.
Thank you for the kind words, and right back at you.
Thanks. So I'm really excited about this conversation today about seduction. I remember when we first started kind of chatting about what wanted to be created, and we were just sorting all that out, that the seduction came up, and then this class got created called the Seduction of Embodiment. So can you talk a little bit about what this energy is for you and what you know about this that we might not be aware of, and just kind of start there and let's see what unfolds?
Sounds good. What do I know? I think I would say seduction for me is a very bodily invitation that we are not always allowed to be, allowed to have. And as a performer, as an artist, as somebody who was really used to working with bodies and used to looking at how to work with that energy, it's something that is very familiar to me. And that's why I really love the title of today's talk being Kindness of Seduction, because how kind have we been to ourselves to allow ourselves the energy of that seduction? And And
one of the things I wanted to point out to anybody who might be watching this in the future or even now is that we are going to be playing consciousness. And if you're not familiar with Access Consciousness, check it out. It's www.accessconsciousness.com. Theclearingstatement.com is another place you can go to get more info. So if we say something really weird, ask a question and say this weird phrase, you can go there and get all the details.
Exactly.
But one of the things that stuck out to me when I first met you, Kalpana, was the ease and the grace with which you just walked and you were. And the amount of seduction that was just in your being. And it wasn't something you were trying to do. It wasn't a put on. It wasn't like you can see somebody walking down the street and they're like trying to be sexy. It was a very, very different energy. So that's what struck me about what you're being. And so when you're looking at this class and what you're inviting people to, what is that for you?
That is really actually exactly what you were saying, the ease of being with your body, in your body. And I would say really embracing all the energies that come up with it. When you talk about the thing about not trying to, it's really the energy of force that we're used to having when we want to be seen or not seen even. There is a force, something you either stop it, which is a forceful act, or turning it on in a way that is like pushing, which is again a forceful act. And what I am really aware of is that we don't have to do that. And if we actually allow ourselves to have fun with what comes up, there is an elegance and an ease and a grace that each body has in its own way, which, like what you say, like when you walk, I feel this elegance and grace. It's like, that's me. And what do you have? And what are you able to tap into that you haven't allowed yourself to even access? So everywhere all of you are connected to this call, and everything that brings up, maybe you want to just join and create it.
All that shorts supposed to be on, so I got your back.
Cool.
How is this relevant to everyday life?
I think it is so relevant because the energy of being for me is very connected to the energy of seduction. And what if it is not like, actually you said so many things in that sentence, like it's not a force, it's not a trying, it's not a proving. And what if you just going to the store to go get a can of milk, on your way, as you walk down the stairs of your apartment building, as you walk through the streets, as you walk to the store, as you talk to the store owner, as you buy your package of milk, what if all of that is a play with the energies, and you can actually seduce the people, the energies, into being more of them, into having an ease that they don't know, and for them to open into something that they even haven't considered. For me, that is a very daily act. And it's not an act, that's the whole thing, right? Like, what if you don't have to do anything to be seducing?
Right.
To tap into that energy of seduction.
Yeah. This whole conversation is just making my whole body.
I know, you're like, oh. So,
I'm like, so
and that's really cool. Like, so how, I would like to ask you, like, how much, or have you allowed yourself to tap into the capacities you have and that your body has with that?
Yeah, more and more. The combination of just all of the classes that I've taken and really getting into right voice for you and looking at what it would take to create the life I desire. And Blossom does this amazing manipulation class. So for me, it's been all of these different pieces that now I'm looking at my life of like, what would I actually like to create as my life? And what tools can I use to create that with ease?
Exactly.
So the more that I do that, the more I just be a different energy that seems to invite ease and invite, like, I mean, yesterday's a great example, and I'd like to hear what this is for you. But yesterday, I needed a new battery for my car, and I needed someone to help me do it. I needed a ride, and I'm like, I actually don't know if I know anybody. But I just started with the question of like, well, what would it take to get all that done with ease? And somebody showed up it did get done with ease. I got a ride and I got a battery, and and right after that, I had some help with some other aspects of my business that I'd been asking about. So what I'm discovering is like the more willing I am to be the seducers of the energies and to create from the kingdom of we, where everything and everybody gets greater,
Exactly.
the more my life expands and gets greater. The piece that I haven't incorporated a lot of that I'm really curious about, though, is with movement and with my body. For me, that's kind of been the last frontier of like, what contribution can my body be? And I haven't been clear on that.
Cool. So everything that doesn't allow you to perceive, no, be and receive that, do you want to destroy and create it?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine podfuck, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And it's really cool what you say. If we take all of us, our bodies obviously have so much to contribute. And if we can play with that consciously instead of randomly, when you do it and you go, oh my God, that was so cool. Oh my, I can't believe this happened. And what if you can believe it? And what if you can actually claim, own, and acknowledge what your body can contribute? Because I see when you speak about, your journey and all the things you've been adding in the puzzle, and you stepping into more and more capacities, more and more possibilities, more and more ease. For me, the body is the one that we tend to forget. The one we're like, yeah, if we do it all here, then it'll like, somehow trickle down effect or something like that. Like,
hopefully that affects this somehow.
Exactly, yeah. I'll do the headstand or something. So, and actually, if we involve the body as part of that, in my experience, it shifts worlds.
It really does. I really saw that so clearly when I first met you, because I would watch you walk and I'm like there was just something about you that I couldn't take my eyes off of. And so I started looking at that and the energy you were being. And so how much do we just cut off our body as the
exactly. We just stop
without
here.
saying totally. And we just without saying anything, though, you could walk through a room and change the whole room.
Yes. And actually, I love that you're saying that, because that's one of the things that we will be doing in the class. We're going to look at how can we just be in a space and just be. How much have we learned to be by doing, also physically?
Yeah.
And how much have we learned that we need to do something to change something?
Right.
And what if you can just be in a space, and it's actually a very performative thing. If you have a show, sometimes also in performances, if you look at a performer is on stage and they are asked to do nothing, it's the hardest thing to do. They're like, tell me to like do a flip flop and like do the split, and I'll do a turn and arabesque and blah blah blah. I'll be fine, you know. But just don't ask me to just stand there, right? So this space of doing nothing and being is something that I really tap into in the class. That like, if you could just be there and just like you said, what if you just stand being there and walking? And what if you can keep your barriers down all the time and include your body as the body making you move, and the body moving space, and the molecules moving with you. And as you walk, everything shifts and all the molecules change. And what else is possible? And it's really this magic of the capacity that is really locked into our body and stored into our body, that in my point of view, we unlock a lot of that, like for example through the body processes in access consciousness. But in this class we really use it in terms of movement, like you said. Like, what if just walking from one side of the room to the other, you just change somebody's world because you are allowing yourself to tap into that energy of seduction, of the capacities of embodiment and the beauty of embodiment.
Yeah.
Right? And how would it be if you are actually more than just this? Right?
What, the rest of us?
And you mean that thing there? And how much of that is not connected? What if that's not connected to the projections and the things that we've learned that it has to be? And then you can contribute.
Thank you for saying that. Yeah, like the seduction as it's understood, or I even looked up a definition in the Old English Dictionary, just curious about what that was, and I can't remember word for word, but the connotation to all of the definition was this thing that a woman does to like bring somebody down, you know.
Exactly. Like it's like a you know, I will seduce you.
Like the Black Widow, like
it's very twisted, very twisted. And honestly, I chose the title for the class with you, and I think the energy of the word has so much charge, and at the same time, so much possibility, so much possible. If we could undo that, if we can undo. Like even me saying like I'm going to do a class called Seduction of Embodiment, people go like, what? You're going to like seduce people? Like it's so dirty.
I know.
And at the same time, if you think about it, like, oh my God, for me, it's a real lightness to what can I seduce you into? What can my body invite you? It's like a physical invitation in a way, without doing and with doing. And what if all that charge that is there can be taken off? And there's a lot of layers of it. So we're really going to look at that in the class. And what if we can like physically undo it? And that is one of the things I'm really excited about for the one-day class, is like I do a lot of different kind of movement stuff when I create material for performance. And I have seen throughout the years that there's a lot of stuff that is really stuck in the body that we can also undo by moving.
Yeah.
And what if we can just like shake it off and get it out of there? And what if you do that act of moving, what if that is like, for me, it's like turning something that's turned off on, but really physically, and suddenly it's a source of so many things. It's a source of energy, it's a source of movement, it's a sort of fun, it's a source of so many things. And that's what I'm really excited about as well, to share and to see what people get out of that. And well, you know, just talking about it, I get really, my body gets
lit up over here.
Exactly.
So when are you coming to Vancouver?
We need to talk. Yeah.
Well, and I know for me personally, like including my body in the equation of my life is a recent thing, you know, as of this year. So even just you talking about movement, one of the things I've always been drawn to is dance. Always. And of course I eliminated it as something I would ever do, but watching it, but I know, yeah.
Right.
I'm changing that. No, but
I'm good bet on it, but we're sure so soon.
But I wonder how many of us do that, you know, because in this reality, movement is reserved for those who can dance.
For the privileged ones.
Yeah, who've taken lessons and blah, 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 right? Or else you're drunk at a club. Like it's kind of those scenarios.
So everything that is, can we just run and create that, please?
For sure.
Cool. Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, book, short, supposed to be on. Because what you're saying is really interesting. As soon as somebody hears that I'm a dancer or a choreographer, they go, oh, I love dancing, but I suck at it.
Exactly. It's an immediate elimination.
Yes, it's a totally like, oh, you know. And what if dancing was like speaking? What if dancing is like breathing? Because for me, in my point of view, that we call dancing is really the body breathing. Yeah, like that's how my body breathes. It wants to do this, and it wants to do this, and it wants to do this, and it wants to just be. And how often do you breathe differently? You breathe deeply, you breathe quickly, you breathe, you know? And what if that there is no separation between breathing and being and moving and being? And everything that doesn't allow that. Can we just try to create that, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, pot, book, short, supposed to be. It's because it's great. I'm really happy you bring this up because there's so much stuff of people thinking they can't. And it's a bit like when we look at the Right Voice for You class that, you know, people have been taught that, oh, you're tone deaf or you can't sing or you should think of something else to do. How much is that with dancing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and how much even more? Because what I get as we're talking, it's like, it's less judgeable to be a speaker or a singer, but really risky to move.
Yes, it's very risky. It's very dangerous.
When you move, you're noticed, you're seen, you're fully present in what it is that you're being, whether you're walking and you're strutting all of your stuff, or, you know, you're going to be more visible than if you're standing up against the wall being a wallflower. So absolutely.
And how much are you exposed when you move? Because how much is the body also like, I'm here, but just, I'm not here. Just listen to me. And if you really involve the body in terms of movement, how much do we have to go through all the crap and all the layers and all the dark spaces of that to see that, oh my God, there's so much brilliance that you're hiding. There's so much lightness and so much shine that you're hiding that you better give people, you know, sunglasses.
Yeah, right? And I can perceive it as we're talking, and I think what's coming up for me, and I'm really curious because I know a lot of women, especially, and well, people really, who as we get older, we move less and less and less, and even if we go to the gym or we're doing stuff kind of with our bodies, we're still not really including our body. Like when you talk about the body breathing, I'm like, how often do we move like that?
Right, and like you said, like the gym is like it's an action put on the body.
Yes.
It's not like you said, it's not like, let's do this together. Do you want to do it? Do you feel like that? What shall we do? No, we will do this exercise 15 times and therefore you must obey. It's a whole different way of doing it, right?
Yeah, and I, you know, for me, there's all these stories in my past of like sexual abuse and trauma where, you know, in my family, it wasn't, you didn't want to be seen. Like you were really trying to be invisible, and carrying that into my adult life, the tools of access have just changed that so much.
Yeah.
But what, I mean, I guess what would you say to somebody that would just be longing after this class, but would totally go, I just don't know if I have the courage to do that. Like,
cool. That's a really great question. I would say everything is welcome. Like you just being in that space with me and you just take it. We're going to do all kinds of exercises. We're going to do a lot of clearings. We're going to look at all kinds of stuff. And I would also say we are going to have people shifting and moving that will invite your body to shift and move in your spot. You don't have to go. It's not a class that everybody then ends up like dancing for the whole group. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's really, and I would in that way say like me moving in the space and me being with you and me inviting and seducing you and your body and your being. What can that shift for you? And what invitation can I be with my body and my being for you? That would allow you to just even unravel whatever you're willing to unravel. There is no force and there is no, everything is safe. Everything is welcome. And if there's anything I have learned as a choreographer over the years, because I travel and I work with all kinds of dancers, is that I always look for the greatness of each person and I invite them to see what they do not see about themselves. And I invite them to tap into the capacities that they have hidden or haven't even been aware of. And that can be cognitive, but mostly that is just not very energetic.
Yeah.
And I would also say, like, how much does your body want to join me in having fun together, in seducing each other, seducing the people around us, seducing the world? And what if that doesn't look like the way you think it should or must or cannot look like?
Yeah.
What could it be for you that is fun? And yeah, so I would also really say the title might scare you, but really it's a safe space for you to go wherever you want to go. I'm going to just invite you and entice you and seduce you into choosing more of you. And you can choose as much as you want. And I think whatever that is whatever works for you. There is no right and wrong there. And I know, like, what has been interesting is that a lot of access people have been speaking to me like, oh, you do all this stuff with movement, with dance. I wonder what that could look like. And even Gary was saying, like, what do you want to do with that? And it's like all that I have known, all that I've been, and all that I've been creating, and putting that together with the access tools is like, I'm so honored. And I'm so grateful to be able to share that and bring that to people. And I really feel that whatever you might have decided that you cannot do with your body, what if that's not true? What if we can, like, explore something else that you know, that doesn't fit into this reality, and what might be also very subtle, I would say, because it's not always like, oh my God, I can do this now. What if that's just your molecule, like allowing your molecules to buzz anytime and every time, whenever you require and want it, as a request? And what if, like, your body speaking to you in movement can be a conversation you have, which is really fun and easy for you, and something that you can play with, like another tool. So that would be my invitation to anybody and everybody who hears this. And yeah, what else is possible?
I'm so grateful for you in this conversation. I knew the moment I met you that I wanted the world to know who you were. And there's something that's so unique about each one of us, that when we're able to, you know, the gift of you being willing to be that person going, no, I can show you, like, I see it. I see your greatness. I see what you're capable of. And if you want to choose it, here it is. It's like, it's life-changing.
Well, thank you, Christel. And thank you for your willingness to go to this space, because it is not you've really been awesome as a buddy to talk to and, like, you know, play with. And it's really cool that it's possible to have a conversation where we don't have to go into the space of judgment, but we go into the space of possibilities. And that's what you are for me. And what else? Yeah, what else is possible? What fun can we have? And yeah, come and play with us.
Come and play. So what we're talking about is a class called the Seduction of Embodiment, facilitated by Kalpana. And we are creating a worldwide tour right now. So we have some locations in Europe, hosts in Europe that are really excited about it. There's going to be a class in Vancouver. And where else? If you are interested in hosting and you'd like to help us co-create this possibility, we're so excited to be bringing it to the planet. So yeah, our websites are below. My email address is accesschristel, CHRISTEL @gmail.com, and Kalpana.
outcreateyourreality@gmail.com.
Awesome. Yeah. So huge hugs, gosh, for you and for all of you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And it's so cool. And what can this conversation already bring for you? What can it change, shift, transform, and create? And what else is possible beyond that? Thank you so much. Thank you, Christel.
Thank you. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.